Hello and welcome to your Saturday morning chatty scent corner, where we talk about what's new, what's coming, and what we really need to have a good chat about. So today I have for you not many updates. Today it's more about us getting into a good chat. So as always, we will start with the tea and then I will move forward and give you just a couple of updates. And I want to make sure that I don't forget to wish the gents of the fam a happy Father's Day. But before we jump right in, if this is your first time here, I'm Arahi and I'm your fragrance concierge because I'm totally committed to creating the best fragrance experience for you. I upload videos multiple times a week, and on this channel, we love to talk about all types of fragrances. So if that sounds like the type of content that you're interested in and like a good plan, then please consider subscribing, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget, leave a comment. Let's go. All right, so before we jump into the updates, I just wanted to have a quick chat with you just to get your thoughts on this one. So this week, I started to look around my collection and I was thinking that I really need to find some fragrances to declutter because my fragrance is just huge and I'm really, really running out of space again. But I am one of those people that really struggles with letting go of a fragrance that I do enjoy. It may not be a deep love, but I do enjoy it very much. And I just like to have it because inevitably, at some point, I do pull it. I think about it, I pull it, and I use it. So my first question for you this week is, in your collection, do you typically let go of fragrances on the regular, or do you really keep them and whenever you are in the mood, you just know that they're there and you pull it and you use them? What is it that you do? How do you control or how do you manage, your fragrance collection? It doesn't matter if it's just 5 fragrances or hundreds or over 1,000, you're still going to have that dilemma. The other thing is that there are some fragrances in my collection that are not even much of a like. But, I keep thinking, and they're not Middle Eastern, they could be Western niche or designer, but I keep thinking that at some point, because we do evolve, like our preferences and scent profiles do evolve. So I'm thinking that at some point I may want to, try that fragrance and that I may end up falling in love with it because my preferences or my scent profile preferences have changed. So I just don't want to let go of the fragrance. I mean, I do let go of quite a number of fragrances. I just don't even bring them to the channel because why waste your time telling you about all of these fragrances that I just did not like or don't like. I do share them with you sometimes. I'm sure you've seen me talk about fragrances that I really don't enjoy, but there are other fragrances in my collection that, I just struggle with just parting with them. So my question to you is, how do you manage that? Are you good about just letting go of a fragrance if you just like it but you don't love it? Like, because I could donate it, I could sell it on Mercari, I know all that. But I just feel like, what if, the what if? Because I'm a fragrance lover, so I'm always thinking that at some point I'll end up falling in love with it. Let us know in the comments section, what is your perspective? What is your answer to those questions? So today, it's not so much about me bringing you necessarily new fragrances. They are new fragrances, but they're not necessarily like new launches. I haven't even decided if I want to pick up these fragrances or not, but I did want to have an interesting conversation about some fragrance houses or fragrances that you may not be aware of. Now, this first one that I'm going to share with you, if you've been with me for a while, I'm sure that you're familiar with these fragrances because I've told you time and time again that this is my favorite luxury Middle Eastern fragrance house, and this is Al Jazeera. Now, Al Jazeera does offer different collections, and their most known or recognized collection is their commercial line. And I'll be sure to put a picture up here of what those bottles look like. But today, I really want to talk about their very, very special collection, which is the one that I've been picking up through the years. And this is a collection where they collaborate with top European perfumers. It says who worked with exquisite raw materials. Their approach resembled that of a pearl setting, a symbol of Qatar. So these fragrances do come in 50 ml bottles, and they're supposed to be very, very special. And I can tell you, I do own a couple of them, and they are indeed very, very unique. So have you tried any of these fragrances? I can tell you that, that they are quite pricey, but they are quite worth it. Now I have an example for you of their luxury collection, which is this one. I've shared it here on the channel before, and I've also told you that from this luxury line, my favorite is called Topkapi. Now, these fragrances, it's my understanding that this year they have discontinued several, but there's new ones coming, so I'm probably going to end up picking up a couple of them. But I just wanted to bring these to your attention. I don't know if you're familiar with Jazeera. What I do recommend is that you start with some of the fragrances that are part of their commercial line. And then slowly, if you really enjoy that DNA, then you can go into the luxury line, because again, they're very pricey, and I just don't think that it's a good idea to just go straight into these fragrances. The next fragrance that I want to discuss with you today is from a fragrance house that I have not tried to date, and it is called Cave. Have you ever heard of them? So right now they're launching, or just launched, a fragrance called Sunset Caramel. And that's the fragrance that I found out there. And I just started to do some research, not just on the fragrance, but on the fragrance house itself, because Sunset Caramel, according to Cave, the fragrance house, is created to enchant lovers of gourmand fragrances, particularly those drawn to creamy caramel-laced accords, dessert-like textures, and tropical fruit twist. Silky, milky, and powdery gourmand, it is very addictive. So that really sounds really yummy to me. What do you think? So I don't know. I have been thinking about picking up this fragrance, but let me tell you what the notes are. So at the top, we have milk, coconut, almond, and anise. At the heart, we have white flowers, heliotrope, orange blossom, ylang-ylang, and nectarine peach. And at the base, we have bourbon vanilla, caramel, white musk, ambergris, tonka bean, and sandalwood. But the thing is that I haven't tried any of the fragrances from this fragrance house. I wasn't even really aware of them until recently. So I've been thinking, should I first try to get myself a discovery set? But I figured I would bring it here and ask you, have you ever heard of this fragrance house? Have you tried their fragrances? If you have, what has been your experience? I'm really, really curious, but I just don't want to blind buy without really knowing a little bit more about this fragrance house. They have other fragrances that are their top sellers. There's one called, I think, White Amber, and another one called Red, I think it is. But anyway, I'm just really looking into this. So if you've tried these fragrances or you've heard of this fragrance house and you've tried anything, just please let us know. Okay, so the next update or topic of discussion that I have for you today is regarding Chopard. Now, through time, I have shared here with you several very affordable fragrances called Happy Chopard. Now, Happy Chopard is like very, very affordable. I mean, less than $25. You can find them for even less than $20 at times. But there seems to be another collection from Chopard that I was really not aware of until recently, which is called the Chopard Boutique Collection. And in the words of Chopard, that collection is for those who appreciate the beauty of details. So to truly experience the fragrances within it, you need a moment of olfactory quiet, because many of the compositions are extremely delicate. Now that sounds very interesting to me. I don't know about you, so that immediately piqued my interest. Within this collection, they do have quite the number of fragrances, and the bottles are gorgeous. Santal Odeyar. And this is a fragrance that I've been considering picking up. Have you heard of this special line from Chopard? Now, the thing about Santal Odeyar is that it has as a nose or perfumer, a perfumer that I love, which is Alberto Morillas. And listen to these notes, right? So at the top, it has mango, bergamot, Italian mandarin, and pear. At the mid, it has jasmine sambac, Indian jasmine, Tunisian orange blossom, and damask rose. And at the base, it has sandalwood, benzoin, and labdanum. And I have to tell you, it just like the more I read about it, the more interesting it is. And then I discovered it's not a 2025 release. It's like a 2022 release, but it's very highly rated. And it's one of the ones that they recommend the most. Now, before we continue, I wanted to bring to your attention that there is a site where I've been getting quite a bit of information about new releases. And, be sure to go and join them. They're on Instagram, and I will leave a link in the description box. And they also have a YouTube channel now, and it's Scent Advice. So next, coming from Born to Stand Out, it seems like they're launching another 4 fragrances. Didn't we just have like a whole bunch of fragrances at the beginning of this year? Well, now they're launching 4 other fragrances, and they're called Warm Air, Gold Juice, Candy Dust, and Musk X. So let me go ahead and share with you the 2 that really interested me the most. I'm not sure that I'm going to pick up any of these fragrances. One thing I can tell you for sure is that I'm not picking them up without getting myself a sample first. Because, Born to Stand Out can be a little bit interesting, okay? So let's first take a look at Warm Air. So Warm Air has as notes geranium, roasted caramel, rum, davana, vapor, amber woods, cashmere, and ambergris. Doesn't that sound interesting? But I will tell you that davana, combined with like vapor, I don't know, and amber woods and ambergris. Oh, I don't know, but that just sounds really, really interesting to me. So I may have to get myself a sample because I'm not blind buying. And then the other one that really did interest me, and it's not 4, it's 5 fragrances. The other one is called Cuvée Skin, but the next one is called Candy Dust. And this one has at the top bergamot, raspberry, and pear. In the mid, it has pink, dragibus, which I don't know what that is, milk, and peony. And at the base, it has powdery sugar, moss, orchanox, and tonka bean. So this is very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. And listen to this. So Candy Dust by Born to Stand Out is a fragrance that flirts with innocence and then breaks all the rules. Now that is very, very interesting. Honestly, that is just going to make me want to try this fragrance even sooner, but I am definitely not blind buying anything from here. And you know what? If they have a discovery set of all of the fragrances, then I'll just pick that up. And of course, I'll come here and give you, like a first impression. Now, a release that really has me excited and that I am hoping I can control myself and not just pick it up is by Guerlain, and this one is called Vetiver Fauve. Now this is with Parfumeur Delphine Gel, which I absolutely love, but listen to these notes. So it has fig, pineapple, tropical accord, cedarwood, tonka bean, cypriol, and vetiver. And I wonder if it's going to lean to the masculine side just because of how the bottle looks, but maybe it won't. So you really need to hear this. So this is what Guerlain has to say about this new fragrance. So this fragrance is a masterclass in botanical vivacity inspired by the lush prose and even lusher landscape of Rudyard Kipling's The Jungle Book. Very, very interesting. So green is one of those colors that I absolutely love. So I am really loving the bottle as always, but the juice being green, I don't know. But I really, really do need to get myself a sample. Had you heard of this fragrance? Is this one, one that really interests you in any way? Are you planning to pick it up? I mean, I'm definitely going to get myself a sample or try to sniff it in store if it does come to a store, once it's launched, and it doesn't take like months. But definitely expect to hear me talk about this one in some sort of capacity. I mean, Guerlain did already launch one fragrance, during 2025, early 2025, which was Pêche Mirage, and I do enjoy it. It's not for everybody. I have a review here on the channel. So I think I'm just going to be really careful and get myself a sample before going for this one, because whenever I see vetiver, I'm really, really careful. Other than that, the other notes really, really excite me because fig and pineapple and a tropical accord, oh, I'm like, sign me up for it. But still, I'm going to try and get myself a sample. All right, so the next one that I have for you really, really does interest me. So this one is a new one from Bon Parfumeur, and it's number 204. but please listen to the notes of this one. So the notes are fig and violet. Now you guys know that I'm in my best fig era. It seems like every other fragrance that I talk about here on the channel has the note of fig. So this one has fig and violet at the top. In the mid, it has iris. Now you guys know I'm a violet iris lover. So this fragrance is most likely going to be picked up without even trying it. But in the mid, it has iris, ambrette, and edamame, and at the base, it has cedarwood heart and sandalwood. That really sounds like a really cohesive and perfectly beautiful fragrance that will most likely take us into the fall and winter season. What do you think? Had you heard of 204? Have you tried any of the Bon Parfumeur fragrances, by the way? So yeah, just expect to see, either a first impression or a full, review very soon on this fragrance. Now, next, I have a fragrance from room 1015. Now, you guys know that Wave Child and I really don't get along, but you also, I'm sure, know that I really, really do enjoy. I love Jasmine Freak. I know that that's not for everybody. Not everybody has loved it, but, I really, really do love it. But now they have a new one and I think it's available. I just haven't decided if I'm really going to pick it up or not, even though the notes really pull me, because listen to this. So it's called Love-O-Matic and it has as top notes, it has strawberry, blackcurrant, and lemon. In the mid, it has clean notes and bubblegum. And at the base, it has ambrette butter, cedarwood, and musk. Now that sounds really, really interesting. And then to top it all off, listen to what they have to say. Born from the poetic chaos of a Paris laundromat, Love-O-Matic is a scent that captures the beauty of life's small cinematic moments. Think clean laundry, strawberry gum, and that electricity of an unexpected connection. That has got to be the most extra description I have read for you in a long time. I mean, think clean laundry and strawberry gum, because when I saw the note of strawberry and blackcurrant in the opening, I thought, ooh, is this going to be my ever so waited for perfect strawberry fragrance? But after reading what they have to say about it, I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm going to see if I can get myself a sample somewhere because I am really interested in the fragrance, I'm not going to lie, but I just know I don't want to blind buy it. So expect to see some sort of activity around this one. Had you heard about it? Are you planning to get it? Does it excite you? Do you think that I should try it? Like, what do you think? If you have more experience than I do with room 1015, what are your thoughts on it? And here we are, another flanker. I mean, it is beautiful though, it is beautiful, but yet another flanker. And this one is Marc Jacobs Perfect Absolute. And here are the notes. Are you ready? Because I am telling you, we are in the era of fig and I'm loving it, but it seems like every other fragrance, if not almost every fragrance now has the note of fig. So this one has caramelized fig, jasmine absolute, and amber, and that's it. Okay, so here's what the brand has to say about this fragrance. Precious, bold, extraordinary. Rooted in the universal belief that you are perfect as you are. This fragrance embodies the transformative power of self-affirmation. I am loving that. Aren't you loving that? That's a beautiful vision and concept. Just perfect. And if the fragrance can give us that, we are all going to be very happy. I'm not going to lie. I think I am going to pick this one up. I don't even think I'm going to get a sample first because I am absolutely loving this bottle. And it's not available yet because I keep looking for it everywhere. It's not available yet, but this is definitely one that you can expect to see here on the channel. Okay, so now in Middle Eastern fragrances. So you guys remember that not too long ago, I shared and reviewed for you the Tubbees Collection. Well, guess what? They have 3 new ones coming out if they haven't already. I just haven't seen them. One is called Lychee Lush. The other one is called Pistachio Kunafa. And the third one is called Tropical Island. So let me share with you the notes of Tropical Island. So citrus notes, green notes, almond, coconut, and jasmine. And those are not supposed to be all of the notes, but Those notes sound really interesting, don't they? Very, very interesting. Now, the last update that I have for you today is a brand that I have not tried yet, but that I've heard so much about, and I'm really excited to give them a try. And I may just start with this new fragrance, which is called Godimenta, and it's Coreterno, and the name of the fragrance is Godimenta. And let me tell you the notes of Godimenta. At the top, we have ginger, bergamot, peppermint, and lemon leaf. In the mid, we have raspberry leaf, metallic rose, jasmine, and fir balsam. And at the base, we have cedarwood, amber, sandalwood, gaiac wood, and musk. This just sounds like really interesting to me because metallic rose, I don't even know what that is. But just all of the other notes sound to me like the perfect fragrance for the fall, and I'm already preparing for the fall. Now, I've never tried any of the Coreterno fragrances. Have you tried any of their fragrances? And if you have, what can you tell us about the DNA of this fragrance house? Do you enjoy it? You know, are they known for anything? Because really, I don't know much about them. But of course, you know that if I decide to pick up this fragrance, I'm going to do quite a bit of homework around Coreterno. But yeah, you know, I haven't made up my mind yet if I'm going to start with that fragrance house or not, because you guys know I'm on a mission. I'm looking for at least 5 new fragrance houses, and they are on my list. And when I saw that new fragrance, I thought, maybe I should try that, but I'm not sure yet. So more to come. The next update is also a Middle Eastern fragrance, but it's not just one fragrance. It's like an entire collection, and it is called Genesis. Now, this collection was not really launched during 2025, but it seems that at least here in the US, now is when it's going to be made, like accessible to us. But I've known about this collection since like the end of 2024, I feel like. But anyway, bottom line is that it seems like now in 2025 is when we're going to have access to it, but I still haven't been able to really find it at retailers. And I did reach out, you know, because they have sent me PR in the past. I did reach out to them, but they told me that they don't have any more. So it's okay. I'm just going to go ahead and pick it up whenever I find it, because I find the collection very, very interesting. So it seems to have like a fragrance for each horoscope sign. And, you know, that just sounds like a very interesting concept to me. So I may, you know, end up picking that one up unless it's very, very expensive. Now, have you heard of this collection? Is this something that interests you, or have you tried it, right? If you're overseas somewhere, have you tried it? Or what have you heard about it in general from people that have tried it? Because I really haven't heard anything. I just know that, you know, it's out there. I saw it for a while, and, you know, I just don't know when it's going to be made available at a retailer that I have access to. All right, guys, so that is all that I had for you today, and I hope that this was, as always, enjoyable for you. There's just so many new fragrances that are about to be launched. I'll just try and keep you up to date as much as possible. I'm not going to pick up everything, but I do plan to pick up the things that really, really interest me and are different, and I do want to add to my collection. Anyway, as I tell you every Saturday, have not just an incredible Saturday, but an incredibly blessed and joyous weekend. Much love and blessings to all. Thank you so much for hanging with me today, and I will see you all in the next video.